My name is Jacob, and you don't know my story. Before I came to Christ, I had some older saints or some people my mom was connected to and stuff that used to drag me to church. And I was a knucklehead. I was the bad one in church, always making fun of people and cracking jokes, you know what I'm saying, and messing with the girls and stuff like that. And when I got to the age that I could decide not to go, I strayed away from church. And when I strayed away from church, I got involved in the streets because I grew up without a father, and my older brothers didn't really spend that much time with me, so I felt like I had to search for love in the streets. So I got connected with a lot of people, you know, that was doing a lot of wrong things, so I was influenced in a bad way. And trying to live for people, I got caught up in a lot of trouble. You know, I was robbing, gang banging, messing around with different women and stuff, wildlife partying and stuff, and did a lot of crime, and I ended up getting locked up and missed out on opportunities to play basketball because I was an athlete. And one day, because I was wrapped up in so much trouble in every area, I knew where to turn to because I was brought up in church. So those seeds that was planted in me when I was little began to manifest. You know, I remembered, you know, my roots. I remembered the foundation that was laid down when I was young. So I remember crying out to God and was praying and stuff and asking God to just help me out. So one day I was walking with the female I was with at that time, and I seen the person I played basketball with, and he was in front of the church cutting grass or something. So he was like, "Come check us out one day." So I'm like, all right. In my mind, I'm like, man, I ain't about to mess with that, man. You sound crazy. So I just kept going. And then one day God set me down, and it was like, basically, you was just praying about me. That's your opportunity, you know, take that chance. So I went to that church. And when I went, everything the preacher was saying was like directly to me. So I'm like, dang, this stuff is kind of real. It's talking to me. So I kept going, and he always was giving the invitation. So I accepted it, and I accepted Jesus Christ as Lord, and I began to follow him. And as I began to follow God, I still was in a lot of trouble. People still wanted me dead or stuff like that, and I still had problems with people in the streets. But what God was showing me is, if you continue to seek me, I'm going to take care of your issues. I'm going to take care of the problems. I'm going to cut off all those bad attachments. So one thing that happened that God showed me he was real was a guy that I had problems with, and it was all my fault. It was all my fault. He ended up going to jail for killing somebody else. And then the house that I was in, right when I left and started following God, got raided. And people went to jail and guns got confiscated. And I had just got out of it. So it was showing me, God was showing me that he was delivering me. And he was keeping me for such a time as this. So once I started realizing like God was for me, you know, I started really being serious. And I got to a moment where I was searching for a different church home. I was going from church to church, hopping, you know what I'm saying, and just looking for a place where I could worship freely. And I came to the road, and they accepted me with open arms and comforted me and showed me love. And as I began to fellowship with them, I remember praying, going up to the altar, asking God, like, I want to find a church home. I want to find a church home. And nobody heard this prayer. And right after I prayed, a prophet came up to me and said, God said you belong here. So that very day I had joined the Road Church. And ever since I joined, God started showing me gifts that was in me that I didn't even know about. I became a minister. Now I'm preaching the word. I'm evangelizing, and I'm doing gospel music all around the world. So it's just, God just showing me, you know, like, if you seek after me, I'll blow your mind. So to everybody out there, if you put God first, things will begin to shift and change in your life. You'll be doing things you never thought you would do. And those very same people I used to make fun of is the very same person that I am today. If you don't know, now you know.